It's one of the most stable countries in the Middle East. But recent protests and the resignation of the Prime Minister have seen the world's eyes on Jordan. But have the protests and a government shake-up changed anything? It was the announcement of a tax increase which led to some of the largest anti-government protests in Jordan's history.
عم بنعيش بالعاصمة الأغلى عربياً 28 عالمياً فبطل فينا كمواطنين ندفع هذا المبالغ للحكومة.
But the tax increase was the latest in a long list of living standard complaints. Jordanians have been protesting almost weekly since January this year. Bread prices doubled, electricity costs went up 55%, and 18.5% of the population is unemployed, while 20% are on the brink of poverty. Adding to the economic stress are hundreds of thousands of refugees. Thousands come from neighbours Iraq and Syria, which also pose other challenges. Jordan occupies a central strategic location between Israel and Saudi Arabia, two of the region's leading powers. Israel does not want a power vacuum and will do what it can to keep Jordan stable. The kingdom is also a valuable partner for the US and its interests. On the fifth day of protests, Prime Minister Hani Mulki resigned, and King Abdullah brought in Education Minister and former World Bank economist Omar al-Razaz.
ما بيهمناش تغيير الأشخاص بقدر ما بيهمنا السياسة اللي بتنتهجها الحكومة، إنه كل ما تصطدم في مشكلة على طول تتوجه لجابة المواطن. إحنا نتمنى على الحكومة الجديدة إنه ما يكون جابة المواطن ملاذ للحكومة.
It's unclear how radical Mr. Razaz will be allowed to be in response to the country's economic and political crisis, as any reforms have to go through the royal family, who have the final say on all policy issues. With calls to fight corruption and implement economic reforms with more consideration for the country's struggling poor and middle class, what change can Omar Razaz bring to struggling Jordanians? How effective can he be as the Prime Minister when the monarchy has the final say? If Jordan cannot keep the peace at home, will the Middle East also suffer the consequences?